know you want more soca. So do I. I mean, we need it. We need it right now, right? Deep breaths. Deep breaths, guys. Welcome, one and all. Hello, hi. It is Tune Tuesday. Oh my goodness, the Tune Tuesday that almost wasn't. I'm telling you. How are you all doing? How are you feeling? How are you making it through the day? You know, that's what I want to know. Because, child, it's hard. It's hard for me. I really wanted to cancel the show today. Last week, we did the Blackout Tuesday. We participated in that. We canceled the live stream so that we could sit down and think. Take a deep breath in, figure out what are really feelings going on right now, and what are we going to do? What action steps are we going to take moving forward? So that was Blackout Tuesday. Blackout Tuesday led to a whole lot of conversation last week with people who didn't understand the purpose of it, people who were there. Senator Parker, New York State Senator Parker will be joining in 10 minutes. Ooh, I love to hear that. I appreciate that note. Robinson and Co. I appreciate it. Guys, so much is going on. I feel like, does it feel weird to listen to soca right now to you? I mean, I told you on Saturday, I posted it. I don't know if you follow everything, but on Saturday, I needed to take like a few hours away from soca. Like, I couldn't do it. I didn't want to feel happy. Like, how crazy is that? Like, I wanted to like sit in my mourning state for all of our fallen soldiers, you know, all of our people who were just going about their lives, minding their dang business, and didn't live to see the end of the day because of a police officer. All of the people who were committing crime and still didn't live to see another day because of a police officer. And let me tell you something. You don't have to be a perfect citizen to not be killed. Like, whatever, you know. Nobody likes criminals, but you don't have to be a perfect person to live. But how are you guys feeling? Send me some sentiments. Let me know if you're feeling all right. Throw some hearts. I don't want to just brush up on things. You know, we've been saying lately, you can't start a phone call with somebody without saying, you know, how are you? How's the family? So there's no reason to start Tune Tuesday and not ask you guys, how are you today? I want to know. You don't have to just say fine. You don't. I'm also muting the music because all streaming platforms are on another level and really shutting down shows that are playing music. So you have to be very strategic about how much music you're playing from every song to the entire show. So bear with me. But anyway, I'm definitely on a rant. So I'm going to start the show off. We start off with our 2020 anthem. That was Nailah Blackman, and the song was More Soca. Brooklyn Psycho, hello, hi. I see you trying to hang in there. Felicia, thanks for rocking with us. This chick, hello, hi. I'm just about to play this song, This Chick. This is our first song for the day. We come on to misbehave. We come on to rant and rave. We come on to rant and rave. We come on to misbehave. North and south, we just like a rolling stone, have no place to call me on. Soca music shall be from head to toe, anywhere we place we go. Day or night, sun or rain, weather, storm, hurricane, we love and bad, we love and bad. Rant and rave and misbehave. Yes, man. Rant and rave and misbehave. When you see me move party, we go cause a frenzy in the soca scene. Why? They must know we own the sound. goodness. Besides the fact that I feel like on a daily, with at least one person, I have had to rant and rave, it is also the theme song of podcast, the BK Rant and Rave podcast that I co-host with this chick. We had a whole season planned. We ended season 2, and we had to wake up, shake it off, and do a whole bonus episode because of what's going on around us and the Black Lives Matter movement and the protests and what we feel about police brutality. And we went in unexpected, but it was just too heavy on us, and so we had to pick up the mic and talk about it and give you guys also some space to talk about it. And please check out the BK Rant and Rave podcast. If you're not a subscriber yet, yeah, I'm joking. Make sure you subscribe to BK Rant and Rave. You can listen to it on iTunes and Spotify, or go to bkrantandrave.com because we got a website, official and stuff. Oh, the good doctor is here. Hello, hi, good doctor. Rico Vibes, hello, hi, Red Beard Productions. Big up yourself. So today I couldn't figure out what I wanted to talk about. I did know I wanted to speak with New York State Senator Kevin Parker, and he will be on shortly. But in the meantime, before he gets here, I'm going to play all the irreverent tunes that I can.
When I hear those kind of thing about police, I just lose respect for Papa Matthew. Raymond, please stop.
Rewind. Does anybody remember this tune? This is Papa Jerry, and the song is called Police. If you don't listen to the lyrics, me and you gonna have problems.
First of all, I have to say, when it seems like the PM mad, you give the police authority to act just like if them is God. Even when they do wrong things, you giving them a reward. 90% of all the cases that go before the court is fraud. What I want you to know, Mr. PM, not only them have gun. And in the revolution on the streets, a lot of gun in it run. But I don't want the place to come and reach in a state of emergency. So to protect myself against police brutality is mandatory. Tell me what you touch me for. This police officer, like you looking for a war. I want with the civilians. Your job is to keep the peace, not to act like some terrorists. Look how you're treating people like this. Fire burn up the police. Well, I have acting and I know they shame the police don't have no dignity. They smoking, cooking, they drinking white rum and yet still they fighting decency. I was very shocked when I hear one talkie say we don't make him the money. Who care about pride? We don't have to hide whenever we put on a robbery. Well, this is the kind of things that I want the PM to always come and address. Not letting down the traffic as we pose when they have a protest. Well, my partner tell me that you is a man that afraid revolution bad. So you're using the police force in this country like your personal God. Tell me what you touch me for. You this police officer, like you're looking for a war. Now with the civilians, your job is to keep the peace, not to act like some terrorists. Look how you're treating people like this. Fire burn up the police.
Listen. I have to cut it short because you know Instagram. I mean, this song was not made yesterday. This song is not even about America. This song is about Grenada. I think the song was made at least 10 years ago. This song was made about 10 years ago. Papa Jerry. There's power, you know. There's power in the position, and obviously you have to respect the police. And a lot of people feel that respect comes from power and respect comes from brute force. And a lot of people are sitting around right now, around tables, and finally talking about, is that true? Do we really need to fear the police? Do they really need to fear us? How are we doing this whole policing thing? People are asking questions today that I never imagined would be asked in America. Can you not fund the police? I didn't know that was a question I could ask. Can 911 not just call police and fire and EMT? Like, I didn't know we could ask for 911 to do more things than what it does. Like, what? I never know. And the question is being asked globally. And, in New York, We have, lots of history of issues between black people and the cops. And by issues, I mean lots of stories of police brutality against black people. And we're hopefully going to talk to Senator Parker about some of that as well. I want to know your feelings. Did you even think that defund the police would ever be a phrase that you would have heard in your lifetime? Like, I never knew that was a thing. Me never see that yet. On the lighter side of police songs, let's play the song that I wish they would play when they play Palance. If ever. What happened with my volume? What happened? You guys hear it? Because I don't hear it. Oh, I think I did something wrong with my speaker. Yes, there we go. There we go. Deep breath.
We just want to catch up. Say hands up, we just don't want to stop. And wave up, we ain't do nothing wrong. Rats up, hey, you know why? Carnival is mass. People waving it black and a land big red true. People breaking away. Can't believe it strikes twice, so nice. I let people in talk. Carnival is red vibes. We the worst in the police station. Don't look we are. Can't stop me from jumping. Don't look we are. Can't stop me from misbehaving. Don't look we are. Can't stop me from waving. Don't look we are. Can't stop me from misbehaving. As the police in the session, they're looking to arrest my police in the session. Now asking no question. Police in the session, we looking for resection. Police in the session, we easy we stress man. Don't look me up, 'cause I ain't getting up. Don't tie me down, I ain't do nothing wrong. Why you holding me in front of everybody? Don't embarrass me. I tell you to come and figure MC. Police in the session, they only want arrest man. Police in the session, asking no question. Police in the session, we looking for resection. Police in the session, we easy, we stress man. Hey look them there, look for them there, look them, hey look for them there, look them there, look for them.
That's Sean Marshall and Screws, and the song is Police. That's a good tune. It's such a good tune. DJs, if you're listening to me, if you have to pay Palance, please, for the love of God, please, just play this song right after. Please. Give us a chance, man. Jeez. But you see, we were looking for the lighter side of the police songs, but still, they in the fete, they on the road, jumping up, trying to find a section, trying to have a good time, and they have to worry about getting locked up. I'm trying to lighten the mood, and they don't want to hear me, though. It's a shame. Maybe I should save that one till after Senator Parker comes on. Let me not. I'll play one more police tune, but hopefully he'll come on after this. This is Robbie B. Police.
Police come down by me with a warning. They say that we never complaining. How the bass too loud on the system. So bring a drum and let we start the singing. Follow! If you know you don't have time for haters, show me your police come down by me with a warning. They say that we never complaining. How the bass too loud on the system. So bring the drum and this is what we singing. Father bless that soul, that soul, bless that soul, bless that soul, bless the neighbor. Police come down by me with a warning. They say that we never complaining. How the bass too loud on the system. So bring the drum and this is what we singing. Father bless that soul, bless that soul, bless that soul, bless the neighbor.
That's Robbie B. I think that was the lighter side of the Police tunes. I'll take it. That's Robbie B, and the song is called Police. Right now, we're just trying to catch a vibe, and it's hard. It's hard to think about anything else besides Black Lives Matter right now. I'm just going to be honest. I know there are a lot of artists right now that are putting out new music, and bless you for it. That's making us stay happy and stay jovial. But my mind is locked in right now. So big up to GBM Neutron for doing a live show this week. It's Stifler Blair. Hello, hi. Thank you for joining us. We've been playing soca all the time, the entire show. So thank you for just joining in. DJ Flex, big up yourself. Who else? There's GBM. I think Young Image has something out right now as well. There's a few other artists. I'll come up with some names. Go support the music, guys. Go buy an album. Go buy a song. Make sure you comment on the streams. Click on things as many times as possible so people can get paid. I hope you guys are doing well all over. Have you guys been to protests yet? Are you staying inside? Are you worried about COVID instead of protest? Are you saying, don't worry about COVID, I got to protest? Like, where are you guys right now with this? On a normal basis, it's just fling tune after tune after tune. But like I said, it's hard. It's really hard. That's okay. You can sleep and join us now. That's quite all right. I want to play. No, I feel like all the songs I have are just rabble-rousing songs. Right now, the movement, the cry, the sad, unfortunate cry has been "I Can't Breathe." And I was saying to myself, I remember there was a song about I can't breathe, and I couldn't remember what it was. And then I found it today, and luckily, it is not the sad predicament that George Floyd and others found themselves in. Deep breath, everybody.
You hold me, can't breathe. Every time that you make me go down low, can't breathe. Every time that you touch me, can't breathe. I can't breathe, 'cause I can't breathe when we're apart.
Soca, heal the spirits.
You're all I need, 'cause you're for
Cleanse me, Soca. Some sage for real. That's Destra. And you see how people just ruin my song? Gosh, man. That's Destra, and the song is called Breathe. And at a normal time, I will fully enjoy that song. And now I can't. Hope you guys did. DJ Flex wants to know, have I been to a protest myself? Not yet. No. And I will tell you why. I'm not good in these situations. Like, you don't want to be in the car with me normally, like, if you get pulled over, because I don't take disrespect well, and I get an attitude quick, fast with police when they're wrong. and I don't know how to let it go. Like, I think at some past life, I definitely had an altercation with a police officer, because like my spirit just won't take disrespect. Like, if I see a cop on the street, hello officer, how are you? Fine. But if an officer approaches me and I know he's completely wrong and has a nasty attitude about it, like, it's not gonna work. So I've been trying to stay away. I'm thinking about going to the protest this weekend in New York. There are 2 days booked of West Indians protesting in Brooklyn. Now, what I would love to see, is a jab revival. I would love to see a bunch of people dab up and go take the streets. That's what I would like to see. And so I'm trying to gather some people. If you are one of them, let me know. We will dab up and go out probably Sunday morning before the Caribbean Collective goes out. So if you are down for the cause and you are willing to dab up, as in put on oil and play Walk with the Ancestors and play a jab on Sunday morning, please DM me, let me know. I'm just gonna put that call out there right now. All right, I want to do a lyric challenge. Senator Parker is not here yet. We put out the call. He said he was going to be on, and he's not ready yet. So let's see. What are you buying a ticket for? There's no ticket to protest. That's not a thing. That's not a thing at all. So every week, this chick puts up a lyric challenge. She puts up lyrics to a little piece of lyrics to a song. And she says, you know what? I think these people are going to get this one. And I say, I doubt it. So this week, I thought she, it was really good lyrics, but I thought she made it super duper hard on you guys. But maybe you guys know it. Here's the lyrics in my best American accent. We cannot take it much longer. Time to rise up and be stronger. What is the name of that song? And who sang those lyrics? Ready? I'm waiting. No? Nobody? All right. Come on. I'm going to say it one more time. We cannot take it much longer. Time to rise up and be stronger. Maybe now? Does it sound familiar? All right, you maybe not. No idea, my Mayana. All right, here's the song.
Can't breathe, can't breathe.
The name of the song is We Want Justice. It's by Mr. Killer. Thank you so much, Robinson & Co.
We want justice, 'cause there won't be no
Senator Parker is on the way.
if you don't give us justice. You won't get no peace.
This is a new tune.
No peace.
Get familiar. Thank you, this chick, for sending us that new one. That's Mr. Killer. We Want Justice. Whoa, here we go. Hello, hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I am well.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have New York State Senator Kevin Parker. Please introduce yourself. Tell the people some details about you.
I am State Senator Kevin Parker. I represent the 21st District in Brooklyn, which is Flatbush and East Flatbush, Midwood, Ditmas Park, Windsor Terrace, and Park Slope.
Can I just pause you for half a second?
Yep.
Go, okay, go on.
I am the chairman of the Energy and Telecommunications Committee, as well as the majority whip in the New York State Senate. And I'm here in Albany. That's Shango behind me. And then I am just fresh off the legislative floor, where we passed a set of police reform bills that we hope will start the process of regaining the trust of, the people of the great state of New York in terms of law enforcement.
Oh my God. Okay, let's just go right into it. Can you tell us about that, please? Yeah.
So obviously, let me just say this. This is not a happy day for me, even though we passed a lot of bills I've been working on for a long time. Some of these bills I introduced over a decade ago, and this has been an issue that I've been involved in for a very, very long time. And it's been just sad that things had to deteriorate to this degree in this country, and for us to get basic rights and basic things dealt with in our state. And so, in the time, we finally got the Assembly, the Senate, and the governor to agree on a set of legislation. It was about 10 pieces of legislation. Of the 10 pieces of legislation, 4 of the bills were mine. So the 911 false reporting bill, which everybody's familiar with. People saw what happened with Amy Cooper and Christian Cooper in Central Park the other week. So this bill would actually create a private right of action so that Christian Cooper could have sued Amy Cooper in that circumstance, right?
Now, again, pause you right there. Everybody wants to know, isn't that illegal already to call?
It's not actually, not in the state of New York, right? So part of what people should understand is that the criminal laws are actually state by state, right? And so what we may have may be different than what's even in Jersey or Connecticut, let alone what's in Minnesota or what's in California, right? And so it actually is not illegal in the state of New York, or in that particular context. And so we've actually created a private right of action to deal with that issue. And then I have another bill that creates a body cam program for state police, right? Right now, the state police don't have any body cams. And so this is like the state troopers, this is environmental police, this is the park police, this is the SUNY police, all now have a body cam program. And so that bill got passed, and that will hopefully be implemented by next year. That way we can put the money for the program into the budget with our next budget.
How do we make sure they keep it on?
Well, the way it's set up, it's already triggered. There's actually a set of policies and procedures around that.
Excellent.
And there are departmental penalties for cutting off your body cam. So, yeah. Yes. And there's another. Yeah. So there's 2 other bills that I have in it. One of them I've done with Assemblyman Nick Perry, that is the right to record. So one of the things you've seen since the George Floyd incident is you've seen cops knocking phones out of people's hands, right? And so now it says you can't do that. People have the right to record the police when they're implementing an arrest or doing other things, right? So you have the right to record. So we've essentially protected that in the law. And then the other bills that we've actually created an office within the Attorney General's office that is an office of police conduct, and is an office to literally do nothing but investigate police misconduct. And so those are the 4 bills that I did, that I was the sponsor of. Then there was a bill 50A, which a lot of people have been talking about, which provides access to the personnel records of cops, and so in terms of grand jury proceedings or other kind of court proceedings, you can talk about the past bad acts of cops. Part of the reason why Pantaleo in the murder of Eric Garner got away is because we weren't able to see his personnel records because we didn't have 50A in place. Right now we will have put 50A in place, and now we can see those records, while simultaneously protecting things that people don't need to see. That was really the fight, was that some people were saying, well, just take all of it away. But then it's not just police, by the way, it's law enforcement. So correctional officers and other kinds of law enforcement are included in 50A, and so you just don't want like the name of the guy's wife or whatever. That doesn't need, everybody don't need to know that. But things about that person's, you know, what they have been, you know, accused of. People have made complaints. Like, you should know that if somebody made 50 complaints about somebody regarding, you know, excessive force, that should be known, right? And so we've done that now. Then there's also going to be a bill, I think we're going to pass it tomorrow, on a special prosecutor. So right now, one of the problems that we have in the context of what we're trying to do is that the relationship between the local DAs and the cops is very, very incestuous. Like, they work together very closely. The DAs are relying on the cops to make their cases. And so you start prosecuting them, it becomes a problem. We're now creating a dynamic where automatically, if it's an issue with a police officer who kills a unarmed civilian, it automatically goes to the Attorney General, so the Attorney General can prosecute the case, right? And that way you don't have to worry about that whole, you know, relationship and the problems that come in with that, right? We have another bill where an officer has to report within 6 hours if he discharges his gun or her gun. And so that we thought that was important. And another bill that affirms the right of people to get mental and health care and mental health services while they're in custody.
Oh, that's huge.
Right? Huge,
that's
yeah.
huge.
Yeah. And they've already had the right. We just did something that reaffirms that right and says that that's a big, big thing. And then last and certainly not least, a bill that's called the Eric Garner Anti-Chokehold Bill, for obvious reasons. And so it makes it illegal for law enforcement to do it. And even your job is not going to save you, right? It ain't going to be like, oh, I did it within the context of my job. It doesn't matter. If you do something like that, as a police officer, you're going to, you know, you can get charged and go to jail. So that's been really, really important to do.
That's a lot.
It is 10 bills. And it's just a beginning, frankly. I mean, it's a lot, but there's a lot more that needs to be done. And we have really not done our job in terms of, you know, maintaining the protections that people need. And so this was a good start to do that.
But you personally haven't started on this path yesterday. You know, it wasn't 2 weeks ago you started looking into these things. Do you feel like it's a lot easier to get these bills to pass now, though, even though you've been working on these things for a while now in this climate?
Well, let me say, I should have started with this. Let me thank the protesters. Because if it wasn't for the protests, if it wasn't for all the things that are happening in the street, we wouldn't be passing these bills today, right? We'd have been, you know, dealing with COVID and other things, but we wouldn't have been dealing with this issue. So thank you to the protesters. And so, yes, it's easier to get these things passed now, but I'm really obviously sad that so many people had to lose their lives, like literally, like, you know, the blood of George Floyd and others is on our hands for not taking care of this sooner. This has been a problem for decades. And I said, we've started some things. Now the feds are talking about doing some things. Some other states are talking about doing some things. But we should have been done it. You should have taken burning stuff down and rioting and protesting for 13, 14 days in order to get this stuff done. This is basic human rights. And we really should have had more respect for Black lives and the general public at all to get it done.
Just a couple names come to mind right off the bat. Amadou Diallo, Louima. I mean, we have these stories for years. And,
decades.
Decades.
Yeah, decades.
When you sit and think, like, oh wow, that was in the 90s. Oh, that was in the 70s. That was like it's a bad history that we have.
Yeah, it is. It is. And frankly, you know, the other part of this is that we've done a good job with electing Mayor de Blasio, who's been much better at police community relations than what we've had in the past. We've elected our own DAs like Eric Gonzalez and people like Darcel Clark up in the Bronx, Melinda Katz in Queens, who's a new DA. And so, you know, that's the other part of it. And so we have to continue to be vigilant in terms of our involvement in the political process to make sure that we're always electing mayors and DAs and other elected officials who are going to protect our rights.
Gotcha. You spoke a lot about the bills that you're working on, what has been passed, what you're still working on. The phrase of the moment is defund the police. What does that phrase does that ring true to you? Do you really believe in that?
Yeah, to some degree. To some degree. I mean, it's an incomplete phase, right? I mean, the question is, defund the police and then do what, right? And so I think I accept it within the context of understanding that we need to do policing in a different way than we've currently done it, right? And so there's kind of two things that I'll talk about briefly that I'm involved in. One is I've written a letter to Mayor de Blasio asking him to refund. Sorry, so the state of New York has lost about $13.5 billion because of COVID, right, in terms of revenue. So we have a hole. The state of New York has lost over $4 billion, right? One of the things that Mayor de Blasio has announced is that he has eliminated the summer youth employment program, right, which means our kids are going to be on the street all summer, right? So you think the last 2 weeks have been bad, wait till you get to July and folks haven't had, nothing to do all summer. And so I've asked him to take money from the police department and use the police department budget to pay for some youth employment, right? And so, that's what defund the police looks like, right? It's not just saying it's not about getting rid of cops, right? Because I don't think that we should get rid of cops, but it is about taking those funds and using them, because, again, you're going to spend that money one way or another. You're either going to spend that money with police and dealing with issues that people have in the community, or you're going to use it for summer youth employment, and we're going to summer, right? So that's one way, right? The other thing that I'm working on is I'm working on a bill that would create what I call a fourth option. Right now, when you call 911, you only have three options: a medical emergency option, you have a fire emergency option, and you have a police criminal justice response. The default response is a police criminal justice response. So if you have somebody with a mental health issue, they send the police. The problem is, if everything is cool, everything's all right. But if somebody gets a little out of hand, then the police fall back on their training. I remind everybody all the time, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And then people wind up shot, hurt, dead, right, or in jail, right? Do you know where the largest mental health facility is in the entire country?
No.
Rikers Island.
Wow.
Literally, right? And that tells you something about how we deal with people who are mental health, who have mental illness, right? And the reality is that you're 47% more likely, if you're somebody who has a mental health challenge, to be hurt by somebody than you would to hurt them, right? And so those are the things that we have to really start changing. And so we start talking about defunding the police. It is doing these new dynamics, and so I'm saying we need to have a fourth response, which is a mental health response, so that when you call and you say, "Look, I have somebody here. I got Kevin here. He needs some help. He's having a bad day in the middle of a crisis," and they send some mental health professionals instead of the police. That's what you need, right? And so it's looking at those kind of solutions is how we need to move forward. So,
before you joined the call, I was posing the question to the audience. Did you ever think in your life that we would be rethinking how to police? You just go through and this is how things go. And at the beginning of the shutdown, my number one concern was when it is hot in New York City and the kids have nowhere to go, these black teenage boys, brown teenage boys are going to look like hoodlums and thugs. And the cops are going to assume that they're doing wrong when we know they're just our babies trying to have some fun in the summer heat. And to really rethink how you're spending that money so we can really take care of those kids in the summer instead of leaving them out there to do God knows what, and to look at them like they're grown men and criminals is amazing. I'm glad you're on that. And the mental health piece is it helps everyone. There is no one that doesn't help.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna put up a picture right quick. I don't know if you could see it. You let me know.
I can.
Yeah.
That was last summer, right?
That was last summer.
Yeah.
Last summer I was covering.
You make me look good.
Thank you. I like this picture a lot. Last summer I was covering the behind the Brooklyn Museum, the Soca events, and I said, "Wait, who is that politician jamming down over there?" I said, "What? No, the songs and everything. I was impressed.
That's,
How
that's funny.
how does your area of Brooklyn, where your constituents live, how does that really affect your personal life and the music that you listen to?
Oh, well, very much so. I mean, again, I represent the largest concentration of Caribbean immigrants outside of the Caribbean world. Definitely the largest population of Trinidadians outside of Trinidad. So, you know, I've just grown up. My chief of staff is Trinidadian. My director of communications is Trinidadian, right? And so I've been to Trinidad about 5 times.
Trinidad, hello, hi.
Yeah. I've been to Trinidad 5 times. Actually, the first time I went was in 2005. I was actually an Emancipation Day speaker. Me and Miriam Makeba were both on the program with Dr. Kabong, who invited us there to speak. And, you know, so, you know, but I've been involved with a lot of organizations, including Wadika, which does the parade. You know, I knew Carlos Lazama, who's essentially the founder of the parade, and, you know, close with his family, you know, particularly daughter, Yolanda Lazama Clark. With the folks at Sesame Flyers, that's you know, I know a lot of folks with the mass cans.
I see.
Franche, you know, my girl Desma and Natural Born Freaks. In fact, the location of Natural Born Freaks on Avenue D used to be my office. It used to be my office, right? And so you know, I go around every year and make my way to the mass camps, to the pan yards. You know, to the soca tents when they pop up, you know, and so it's been, even though I'm, you know, African American, I've grown up with this culture my whole life, growing up in Flappers at the Junction. So, you know, I feel like it's part of me.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you think is going to happen this year?
Look, I think that Wadika is going to do some really good job at finding creative ways to do events. I think a parade like we've seen, which, you know, and by the way, the Labor Day, you know, Carnival, you know, West Indian Day Carnival Parade on Labor Day is the largest single parade in North America, right? You're not going to be able to do 2 million people and socially distance. I don't see how we do that again. Not this year, not until we get a vaccine. And so, but I think that they're going to continue to do important work. They're cultural warriors. I think that us maintaining that culture, that diasporic culture, is really, really important, and I expect us to see some really exciting and interesting things done.
Excellent. So, play my music on Tune Tuesday and and gear up for the road next year. No,
yeah, look. Everything changes, right? Everything changes, and we got to move with the change. Look, Marshall got married, so you know everything changes, right? So
you're right.
Right.
So how do you feel about the reopening of New York City? Are we on track, you think, to stay where you're in phase 1?
Let me say this. I think New Yorkers did an amazing job at socially distancing and being disciplined and understanding what was going on in the context of the COVID pandemic. I think we have to understand that although we're in the process of relaxing the stay-at-home order, that social distancing is still going to happen. And so I'm a little bit concerned, obviously, with all the contact I've had with random people with the protests. But I'm, you know, going to repeat what the governor said about if you've been involved with those protests, been out those things, you should probably go get tested to make sure that you're not COVID positive and walking around spreading the virus. But we're still in the middle of a global pandemic, and I think it's going to be important for people to behave as such and to wear their masks and wear gloves. Wear glasses when they're you know, in places when they can't socially distance, like a supermarket or a public transportation. You know, wash your hands as often as you can when you're out and about. Use hand sanitizer. We have to be safe. We have to be safe.
Well, I've seen you give out masks. I see you're giving out lots and lots of information, including, I think one of the most interesting and best posts was really how people stay protected when they're having sex during the COVID times.
Yeah.
I mean, one of your most well-received posts.
Well, look, I mean, you know, and it's funny. I've taken a lot of hard time from my colleagues about it, but we shouldn't act like it's not happening. And the reality is that you can transmit COVID-19 through sex, and you know, and it's through, you know, droplets, respiratory droplets. But you can also, they've also found in recent reports that COVID is actually, they have found evidence of COVID in men's semen who are actually testing negative.
Come on, listen.
I'm just saying, be careful out here. I ain't trying to get in your business, but I'm just saying, be careful. Be careful out here. All right. So it's just, I mean, we're going to have to really, look, there's going to be 3 periods in our life from now on, right? BC, before COVID, DC, during COVID, and then AC after COVID. We're still in the DC period, right? We're not after COVID yet. And so we're going to, just because, again, we're relaxing relaxing the stay-at-home order, social distancing and being careful and being, you gotta watch out. You gotta watch out. Can't just be busting down anytime you feel like. No, I'm just joking.
You ain't joking. You're right. You're very right.
I gotta be careful.
You were mentioning your committee, and I think I testified before your committee, and you were not there that day. I think you had, I don't know what happened, but you weren't there that day.
I'm the chairman, so my committee cannot meet unless I'm there.
It was definitely.
It might have been enough. I mean, we have 36 committees in the Senate.
Yeah, it was definitely
What was the issue?
Telecommunications. It was MWBE.
No, that was. But yeah, you might have spoken about telecom, but you were probably speaking at an MWBE public hearing. It was probably Rodney. It was probably Rodney's Prashad and Senator James Sanders.
When I tell you there was not one recognizable face on that panel. Those names that you said, I see them all the time at events. Yeah. But we were speaking about minority women-owned businesses and how they get more opportunities in New York. And that is a major, major issue right now. People are reclaiming their time, reclaiming their money, and what to do with that. Do you have any words for the Black entrepreneurs out there, what they should be looking at, what they should be doing in this moment, taking advantage of?
Yes. So, excuse me. I want to try to make sure my phone don't die. It's been long.
I can imagine. Don't die. Let him live. Let him live. You need to speak that good stuff, right, guys?
Yeah. I'm here. I just had a little technical difficulty. Look, there's nothing outside of our own personal health. There's nothing more important than people's coins, right? And so we're in the midst now of trying to deal with the global pandemic and deal with fighting for justice, and then simultaneously trying to make sure that we deal with the issue of economic empowerment and just even economic survival for many. In our community, the vast majority of us work in small businesses. And when we say small businesses, we're not just talking about micro businesses with just 1 or 2 people, right? Small business can be up to like $5 million, in some definitions, $5 million, $10 million, and can include businesses up to 500 people, right? But small businesses are the businesses that that really, create full-time jobs at a living wage with benefits in our community, right? And so it's really critical. So in this moment, what should people be doing? The first thing is that people should be thinking creatively, right? Money is energy, right? What we learn in the rules of thermodynamics is that energy never dissipates; it just recreates and forms another space and time, right? For you young people, that's out of Earth, Wind, and Fire, all right? And so it's understanding where money is being spent, right? And so during the COVID, even though a lot of people lost their job and everybody's like, oh, the economy, 3M made a bunch of money because 3M makes those masks. The people who built ventilators made money. The people, people who clean, who know how to do disinfecting, cleaning, made money, right? And so there's money out there to be made, right? Netflix made money. Amazon definitely got their bag, right? Like everybody, there's people out there who made money, right? And so, and so it's just, Versus. Nobody even knew who Versus was. Now, they doing big things, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so that's what it's about. It's about kind of figuring out where the money's moving to and trying to line yourself up to be in harm's way when the money's being spent. And so people need to relook at their business plans and understand, what is my business plan? What are the economic opportunities in the new market during COVID, and what's going to exist in the post-COVID market, right? And so, and adjusting how you do things. And so that's the first thing that people should know and understand. Second thing is that people need to understand the business of their businesses. The problem we have in our community is that people know how to cook food, don't know how to run a restaurant. They can build a table, but don't know how to sell furniture. And so people need to understand the business part of their business and spend time with that. And the third thing is access to capital, which is, again, going to be really tight and really hard. You know, a lot of people got the P3 money. Some people didn't get it. It's kind of understanding, how do you get access to that capital, having your business plan tight, making sure your taxes are filed, right? And as entrepreneurs, right, like I get there's a lot of people who don't file taxes for whatever reason, but I'm just saying, as an entrepreneur, you ain't got nothing to hide, right? So,
right.
You know, and so those people should have been, you know, already had their stuff together so they can kind of do those things. So I got to run, but
wait, before you run,
yes,
we need to know at least soca tune that is in your head that you can vibe to real quick. We want to know how Flatbush you really are.
Oh. Well, I was like a boss. I mean, y'all see this. Y'all know what this is. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, right? Like, you know, we passing bills, we, you know, doing these things, right?
Bop. And nobody say nothing to that. I appreciate you for your time. I appreciate you for your hard work.
Yes.
Your long hours you're putting in for us. We appreciate you. We salute you. Keep
Absolutely. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon.
He does do it like a boss.
This is my home and I'm leaving. I can't get over this feeling. I just want to pay myself.
Jump up.
I just want to wind on something. I can't let no bumper pass. Be played in the lost and found. Watch me how I'm winding down. I all on the dirty gun. Then nothing can stop me now. It's all yeah.
Kings and queens, stand up. Awesome. Thank you, New York State Senator Parker. Oh my gosh. We weren't ready. Listen, I know at the end of every Tune Tuesday, I give you a chance to request tunes. But New York State Senator Parker was just spitting so much gems, so much knowledge, giving us so much information, right, fresh off the presses, that I couldn't stop it to play music. I know we come here to listen to soca music, but you got to hear a word. Sometimes you got to sit and hear a word. That was amazing. That was amazing. Our time is almost up. This is Tune Tuesday, guys. I'm telling you, as of 5 p.m. today, I said, never mind. I don't want to do the show. My heart is not in it. I can't. I'm sad. I'm overworked. It's a lot. But Tuesday is always the best day of the week. Oh my gosh. Tune Tuesday brings me so much joy. I'm so happy that you guys came and joined the conversation. I know you were saying a lot of things there and we didn't get to answer your questions, but we appreciate you. Please follow Senator Parker on Instagram so that you can see all of the things he's doing, because he's putting in that work. And because you're putting in the work, you are making your voices heard. He is able to get these bills passed much faster. So do what you got to do. You're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing, people. Power to the people. We are definitely making changes for ourselves. And this is amazing. So I'm going to say, Stifler Blair saying go off and come back. It's I don't know if I have it in me. I don't know if I have it in me, but I'm gonna play one more tune and we're gonna call it a night. It was so good that I'm not gonna drag it. I'm really okay, maybe 2 more tunes. Maybe 2 more tunes. I mean, I feel like after that conversation, I'm feeling like this really, really hard. Every day I turn on the news, they counting on the days of how many days of protest, how many days of uprising. Tell them it's just begun. Let me promote this Black business right quick. Be brilliant. Go to shopbbnyc.com. Right now, they are having the ill sale, 50% off of everything. So you don't even need my discount code. Go to shopbbnyc.com and get everything they have. Yo, this stuff is so fly. I went on there this weekend and bought stuff myself. I'm brand ambassador and I still put my coins to really support Black-owned businesses. Come on, you got to do it. You got to do it. Shopbbnyc.com. Buy everything they have and put in the comments, Soca Say So told me to. Come on. Go subscribe to BK Rants and Rave podcast. You can hear a lot. We spoke about mental health today. Please go listen to that podcast we did with Dr. CG Brilliant, where she gave us some tips of how to stay calm in these COVID times. And now you can use those to stay calm in this crazy Black Lives Matter protest time. Guys, I had a good time. I had a super duper good time. Thank you, Senator Parker, for joining us today. Please tell your friends to watch this for the next 24 hours. Then it will be on socasayso.com. One last tune.
Left, right, the government boost, the government boost, left, right, the government boost, the government boost, left, right, the government boost, the government boost, left, right, the government boost, the government boost.
Defund the police. Share that money in better ways. Help the community. Soca Say So. Thank you all for joining me.
Is it necessary to have so much soldiers in this small country? No.
Yes, Brooklyn Psycho.
Is it necessary to shine soldier boots with taxpayers' money?
Defund the police. Use the money in better ways. Mighty Gabby, government votes. Soca Say So.
Tell me.
Put it out. Bye.
Tell Tommy. Eat for them in St. Lucie.